All right, guys, obviously we came up a little short today. I'm proud of the way our guys fought. I'm proud of the way they played. We got to make sure we clean up and eliminate some mistakes and keep making more positive plays going down the stretch. I'm proud of the way they fought. They're an improved team from last week. I'm proud of the way they worked last week. I'm proud of the improvement they made. We got to keep pushing on and making strides going forward. Obviously, we're going to a tough stretch right now with the division, so we can't afford to make these mistakes. Obviously, we're anxious already to get back on the grass and start working. We'll start immediately with watching the tape tonight as coaches, improving what we can. Then we'll fly back tomorrow and get with the team on Wednesday. That being said, I'll open up for any questions right now that I can answer.
Dougie?
Hey, Joe. First off, what's your reaction to the fight with Golden Tate and Jalen Ramsey after the game?
You know, I got to see and find out all the details right there, Dan. I don't have anything right there, not yet anyway. Obviously, we want to do our fight in between the whistles for 60 minutes. I don't know all the details, so I'm going to hold and reserve comment on that until I find out everything.
And then on the 4th and 4th, about 10 minutes left, decision to punt there. Just went into that.
Yeah, we were playing good defense. We had field position. We wanted to win right there, put them on back there. I thought it was a good time to, put the ball to our defense and let them play. So,
Bruce Beck?
Coach, how do you build on an effort like this going forward?
Same way we build every week, Bruce. You go in there, you show them the tape, you show the evidence of what we did right to make improvements. You show them what happened wrong that we have to clean up, and then you shift your focus to the next opponent. You got to keep on moving. You can't ride a roller coaster in this league. It's a long season. There's a lot of ball to be played. Like I said, we're an improved team from last week. I'm proud of the way the guys worked the entire week. I'm proud of how they fought today. We've got to make sure we don't have self-inflicted wounds that stop us from having the wins we need.
Hi, Leonard.
Joe, what do you think is stopping your offense from getting in the end zone?
You know, Pat, I got to go ahead and look at all the tape. I was proud of the way they moved the ball today on that. I thought we were more balanced. When we had to run the ball at the end of the game, we were able to make some chunk runs. We threw the ball in tough situations, had to make some passes. We stuck with the plan throughout the game. So, we've got to obviously take a look at that. Any adjustments we have to make, we will. But today, it was a different situation. We just stuck with the plan.
On that late touchdown, how much did Colbert help you as your free safety, and how big was losing him on that key touchdown there?
Yeah, I think AC did a good job for the most part in the game. Obviously, I got to look at the tape and kind of dissect every play, but he came out, he played a good game. Julian went back in there. We have a lot of faith in Julian as well. So, look, all the guys that come to the game for us, they're all going to play. Everyone's got a role in every game. So whoever's in there has to be accountable for the plays on the field.
Zach?
Joe, jumping off of Pat's first question, the offense has scored, I think, 3 touchdowns in 4 games and hasn't scored a touchdown in the last 2 weeks. I'm just curious, what makes you think that this group can improve on that based on what you've seen so far?
Yeah, the focus is going back to work right now and doing everything we can to match up against the opponents going forward. So we've got to build on what we have and who we have available, and we got to make sure we put them in the best situations to be successful.
And did you see what went wrong on the Cooper Kupp touchdown? It looked like maybe there's a miscommunication there or something.
Obviously, any time that there's a touchdown, nothing went exactly right. So we've got to look and make sure we identify the breakdown, correct it going forward.
Tom Rock?
Joe, did you talk to Daniel about the last throw, and do you think he could have run there with the timeout in your pocket?
Again, obviously, it's easy on the sideline or watching on TV, than different than what he may see in his own eyes. We'll go through the tape collectively with the team tomorrow morning before we take off and head back to New Jersey. But I haven't spoken to Daniel specifically just yet about that.
Do you feel like this season starts next week against the Cowboys because of the way the division is lined up?
I think it's important for us next week as we start a division run that we play our best football.
Dunleavy? I'll come back to you.
Joe, the offensive line, 5 sacks. It would have been 6 without a penalty. I think 4 were early in the game. What did you think of their play? Did they get better? And does Daniel Jones and the receivers, are they contributing to this pressure? Daniel holding the ball and the receivers not getting open.
Well, first off, there's never one person who's responsible for everything, okay? It's a team game. All the pieces have to fit together, and everything complements each other. In terms specifically to the offensive line, I did see an improved unit this week. I think these guys are getting better overall. You play a team like the Rams, who's got an outstanding pass rush, you just can't lose your mind when they make plays. You have to move on to the next play and keep pushing forward, be productive. That being said, we've got to eliminate some of the easy plays we made for them early in the game. And when it came down the stretch, I liked the way the offensive line really played and stood in there. I thought they held up for the most part against a very stout rush. Obviously not enough to take some of the production off the line all right, that the Rams have. But you play a good defense like the Rams, they're going to make some plays too.
Lombardo.
Hey, Joe. Daniel now has 17 interceptions, which is more games than he started. Is it concerning that for the second week in a row, he's kind of telegraphed to throw that wound up getting picked off either at the end of the half or the end of the game?
Yeah, again, I got to look at the tape a little bit specifically before we talk to the players and figure out everything that happened in those last plays, Matt. But again, I mean, we're building with our team going forward. We have confidence in our players, and we got to keep working and put in positions to be successful.
Art.
Hey, Joe, you had Matt Parrott out there at right tackle late in the first half, and then Cam came back, obviously, to start the third quarter. We didn't see anything injury-wise. Was that a coach's decision, and what was behind the move and then to go back to Cam?
No, we're just going to play all the guys who are at the game, Art. So there's really nothing, that happened in the game that dictated anything that, we did substitution-wise on either side of the ball. But we go into every game. We take guys at the game. We have a plan for how we're going to use them. Maybe it's situationally in a certain substitution package or for a certain play. And maybe it's just want to get them out there and get them a couple series under the belt. These are young guys. Obviously, they didn't have a preseason to really gain experience. So we've got to build them in throughout the season. I've used them selectively to give them some experience on the field.
Was there any thought to keeping Parrott out there? It seemed like you were gaining a little bit of momentum at the end of the first half.
I'll have to take a look at everything that happened right there, Art. But, look, we're going to look to use all of our players every game, whatever we think is the best chance of us to be successful.
What do you even say to 11.75 points per game through 4 weeks?
I say we got to keep improving, Jordan. Right now, our defense is doing some good things out there. We got to keep improving in the kicking game. Offensively, I like some of the things we saw down the stretch today from the offense. Got to get the ball in the end zone more, but we just got to keep pushing going forward, keep making corrections and adjustments, and get better as we go down the stretch.
And also on a separate note, I know you said you got to talk to Golden. Did you talk? There's obviously past history between those two guys. Did you talk to him before the game, and was this a concern of yours coming into this week?
Golden's a competitive guy. We talk to all of our players every week about different things. I'll keep some of the conversations between our players, just between me and the players. We don't want to have happen at the end of the game what had happened. That's not the way we want to be as a team. I don't know all the details yet. I got to look in that more, Jordan, before I really have any comments to make on it.
But you say, you're not going to talk about the specifics, but was there a conversation?
What, throughout the week?
Yeah,
Yeah, Jordan, again, I'd like to keep those conversations between me and Golden or me and any of the players that we have conversations going to the game. I respect the question. I understand fully where you're coming from. I've just got to keep certain things protected with me and the team.
We'll take three more, Ed, Mark, and Chris. Ed.
Joe, just wanted to ask 2 fourth down situations, I think, in the second half where in Rams territory where you chose to punt. That just a matter of trusting your defense?
It's just the best decision we thought at the time for the team. Our defense was playing good. We were winning the field position. We want to put them on down there on a long field and let our defense play. I think we've gone on enough fourth downs. We're not afraid to go for it at the right time, but I've got to call it based on what I think is best for the team at that time.
Thank you.
Mark?
Yeah, Joe, I know it's hard to extract positive stuff when you're 0-4 and whatnot, but can you speak to what your defense did today? I mean, the Rams were a pretty high-powered group coming in. You held them to maybe almost half of what they've been gaining. And what kind of hope does that give you moving forward here a little bit as you kind of try to pluck some positive things out of here?
Look, I love the way our defense is playing right now. Obviously, third down's been a big emphasis for us as a team. They improved on that today. They've been a good early down defense as well. I like the way our front plays, our back end's improving on a weekly basis. We have good energy. We're getting great communication across the board. I think Pat and his staff are doing a great job calling this right here. I'm proud of the way the guys work every week to improve and get better, and I like the way they fought today.
Last question here, Chris.
Coach, to piggyback that a little bit, was there an emphasis on physical play with the defense? It seemed to be the most physical game they've played. And you went to your third corner today with Ryan Lewis. Could you talk about what you saw in him?
Yeah, I'd say first off, forget about depth charts. Anyone who's at the game is going to play for us. So whether we look at them as a first, second, third, whatever, if you're at the game, you're expected to play. So, we don't hold a lot of value on so-called depth charts. If you're at the game, you're there to play. So that's really not important to us as a team. And I'd say in terms of the physicality, yeah, we put a big emphasis on being a physical team. I've said that from day one. That shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. We want to be a tough physical team, and that's our style of coaching. That's our style of playing. That's what we have to be collectively as a team.
How personally frustrating is this for you, the turnovers, the interceptions? And it seemed kind of like at the end of the half last week and the end of the game here, might have keyed in on your target, which led to the interception. How personally frustrating is this for you, and how do you overcome it?
Yeah, it's certainly frustrating. For me. They're at the end of the game with a chance to, score and go for two, tie up the game, and to not do that's certainly frustrating. So, got to stay at it and learn and keep moving forward.
What can you learn from a moment like that, or the pick at the end of the game last week?
Just can't force the ball in those situations.
Thanks.
Bruce Beck.
Daniel, what will it take to generate points in your mind here for this offense?
We just got to execute. When we get down in scoring position, I think we've hurt ourselves in a lot of those situations, and have to be better and can't afford negative plays, can't afford penalties, and just have to take advantage of the opportunities we have. So just got to execute in those situations.
Zach.
And jumping off that, you guys have scored, I believe, 3 touchdowns all season, and I thought you haven't scored a touchdown in the last 2 weeks. I guess why do you believe this group can bounce back and perform better than that?
Because we've shown to, we've been able to move the ball and get down there. I think once we get down there, we need to execute. I think we got the pieces to do it, and guys are playing well. We just need to be more consistent and execute down there in the red area and finish drives.
Jordan.
Daniel, what do you say to averaging under 12 points per game at this point?
Yeah, we got to score more points. I think that's. I think we all realize that, and it's about scoring touchdowns when we get down there.
And on a separate note, when you look back and you're going through it in your head, would you have liked to run it on the interception there yourself? Is that something you thought of, and what do you think in retrospect?
Yeah, I'd like to go back and look at the tape there and see, see that play. But I think may have had the opportunity to run and got to learn from it and move on.
Appreciate it.
Tom Rock.
Daniel, what's the mood in the huddle like there at the start of that last drive? You guys, you get the ball, I think, at the 20. Your defense just made a stand. There's a little over 2 minutes left. You haven't scored in a couple of weeks though. Is the confidence high?
Yeah, the confidence is high. I think those are the opportunities you want as an offense to go down there and score and in a 2-minute drive. So we were confident, we were excited, and got off to a good start and got the ball going. So, I think we got to finish that. And as far as the attitude or the energy in the huddle, I think it's been positive, and we were certainly confident going into that drive.
Pat Leonard.
Daniel, the last drive of the first half, were you guys aggressive enough in your play calling, attacking, like looking for a touchdown? I mean, you sustained a drive, but it seemed like you guys settled for 3. I don't know if you think that's accurate or not.
Yeah, we were running the ball well at that point in the game and controlling the ball. So I think that was the strategy, and I think it in those situations to finish the half with the ball is important. So that was the thought there, and I thought we did a good job executing that.
Blake, very physical today. Coach Joe just talked about how they always emphasize being physical, but today, how would you assess the way your defense played, physicality-wise, and you held this team to 240 yards? What was the key to that today?
Yeah, I mean, we've been kind of saying it each and every week. I think a lot of people didn't take it seriously when we were saying it. It was just every single week we're hurting ourselves. There's nothing teams are doing that we can't stop, no matter who's out there, who's on the field, who's up, what personnel we have in. We can go and compete against anybody. And I think today we showed that, but we also showed the things that are hurting us. We just got to keep fixing those things and keep kind of minimizing those as much as possible.
Bruce Beck.
Blake, what'd you think of the effort of your defense overall, the way that you guys were fighting?
No, I think it was awesome. I think that's the type of team we want to be, and I think overall it's something that we'll hold our hat high on. But at the end of the day, it's a production league, and it's getting wins, and that's what we want. And I think we're not going to be satisfied until that happens.
Dunleavy?
Blake. We're obviously not there. What happened from your vantage point at the end of the game with the fight on the field?
I wasn't even near it, so I couldn't even tell you anything about it. So yeah, that's kind of where I was at.
As a captain, will you address it with the guys?
I mean, that's kind of a coach issue, and then at that point, we know what we have to do, kind of moving forward, and just focus on that.
Mark?
Yeah, Blake, did you have what did you see on that Cup touchdown there? It looked like maybe there was a mix-up in the coverage and there were no safeties in the middle of the field, or what did you see there?
Yeah, I think there was something there, but I think for me, I just have to go back to the tape and see what kind of went wrong. I can't really kind of say right now exactly pinpoint where it was at or who it was or whatever situation you kind of are looking for right now. I can't really answer that.
We'll take two more, Duggan and Jordan. Duggan?
Hey, Blake, obviously the defense got off to a rough start. What do you think changed? Because, that first drive seemed like the Rams sort of had their way, and then you guys really tightened up.
Oh, yeah. I mean, our kind of game plan going into the game was making that type of team keep having to snap the ball. And I think both their drives were 15-play drives or whatever, at least close to that. And at that point, we knew that type of team didn't want to have to keep doing that. And so I think, maybe went away from some things or kind of went back to some things, whatever way you want to think of it. And at that point, we just kept sticking to what we were doing, and we were making adjustments and making plays.
Thanks. Last one here, Jordan.
Hey, Blake, can you hear me all right?
Yep.
All right. I'm just curious, what's it like for you guys as a defense when your offense is you're watching your offense struggle and average 11.75 points per game?
I mean, it's one of those things where we're all a team. I think for each and every one of us, we all kind of have things we have to keep improving and keep getting better at. And I think it's a process. I think a lot of people kind of write us off, think that something's wrong, kind of just think they know exactly how to fix everything. But for us, we're just working as a team, and I know it's going to keep getting better each and every week. And I saw a lot of improvement all across the board today.
Hey, James, obviously you guys had a great day as a defense. I don't want to take away from that, but I do need to ask you about the Cooper Kupp touchdown at the end there. Looked like you had a beat on him. Why weren't you able to get a piece of him there?
Well, he kind of just squared me up. He had a two-way go on me. I stopped my feet. So it was just bad technique by me. I should have been able to get him down, at least get a hand on him or something.
Yeah, and also wanted to ask you about, the positive. You guys playing this way as a defense, you expect to win games when you play this way as a D?
We just expect to go out there and dominate. That's our whole motto. Whether it's a win or a loss, we need to go out there and dominate and show that we're a dominant force. And if they don't score, they don't win. That's the point at the end of the day.
Duggan?
Hey, James, I know Pat asked you about the tackle. What actually happened on the coverage on that Kupp touchdown?
Well, they hurried up to the line, just miscommunication on the back end. We're all accountable for that. We didn't communicate enough, and that's what led to the touchdown.
Jordan?
Hey, James. I know this didn't involve you, but what's it like when you see guys on the ground going at it after the game?
That's the question for Coach Judge. I didn't really see what was going on. I just seen a big commotion. I was confused, honestly. I didn't know what was going on.
What's it like for you guys as a defense, though, when you see your offense struggling the way it has? I mean, what kind of effect does that have on you guys?
Like I said, if they don't score, they don't win. And we try to take pride in that each time we get on the field. Try to limit the offense to 0 points on the board. And unfortunately, we didn't do that. So we just got to keep getting better, look at the film, correct our mistakes, and move on to next week.
Ralph?
James, you didn't hold them to 0, but you held them down pretty low compared to what they were doing. When you've got them in such a tight game, is it frustrating to watch the offense not be able to pick up the slack a little?
It's frustrating to lose in general. It was frustrating when we gave up that deep touchdown pass to Coop, and I wasn't able to get him on the ground. I was frustrated with that. So there's going to be points throughout the game where you're frustrated. You just got to keep going on and And if you run out of time at the end of the game, you got to move on to the next game. So we're moving on to Dallas this week.
Hey, Nick, saw that you were in the middle of that scrum at the end of the game. What happened there?
To be honest, I don't know what happened. I think Coach Judge will figure it out, comment on it later.
You just saw something going on, you just got involved?
Just trying to protect my teammate.
And then how'd you feel the offensive line played today?
We ran the ball better than we have in the past games. It still wasn't good enough. We didn't come away with the win. We got to be better.
Thanks, Zach.
And Nick, the offense has only scored 3 touchdowns all season. Haven't scored a touchdown in the last 2 weeks. I guess what makes you think that you guys can bounce back from the way it's been the last couple of games?
We just gotta keep fighting, keep going. Keep protecting for DJ, and running the ball, and just keep moving the ball down the field and get us into opportunities to score. So we shot ourselves in the foot a couple times when we got to the red zone with a couple penalties, and it kind of hurts you when you're down there. So we just gotta eliminate those, and we just gotta play better.
All right, Leonard.
Nick, it was a lot made of your battle with Aaron Donald coming into this. We saw you guys kind of jousting there in the middle of the game. Did you get into any kind of comfort zone as far as your physicality playing against a great player like that? And did you feel like you guys matched them physically, even if you didn't score?
We had a plan for Donald, and I think we executed the plan. We just got to be better, and I think we try to get 2 guys on him as much as we can, and everybody else played pretty well, but we just got in pass pro, but we got to be better. We give 4 or 5 sacks. That can't happen.
How about punching him in the head? I mean, you think that's a good idea?
To be honest, I don't know what happened. We just got into it. He's a good player. We're good. I'm a good player. He just it's emotions get high out there.
Tom Rock.
Nick, what's the feeling in the huddle there when you get the ball back after they force the 3 and out, and you're driving down, getting ready for trying to score the touchdown and the 2-point conversion to tie it?
Just try to stay composed. Just try to stay composed, and just keep doing what you're doing all game, and try to move the ball down the field. I think we started on the 25, we moved it down to the 20, and they knew we were passing. Stuff happens. So.
We'll take 3 more. Jordan, Matt, and Ryan. Jordan.
Hey, Nick. Can you guys take something positive as an offensive line out of at least slowing down Aaron Donald?
The only thing positive, one of the positive things I think we did was we ran the ball. I think we had 130 yards on the ground, so that's a positive from the last 3 games before. So.
Lombardo.
Hey, kind of along those lines, Nick, you guys seem to run the ball a lot better in the second half. What went into that, and why do you think you had more success today than you have the last couple of weeks running the ball?
I just think everybody, held their blocks more and finished downfield on other guys, and running backs were hitting holes, and they're just running downhill hard.